I trusted the law. That sentence used to make me feel safe, grounded, protected. Now it feels naive. If this story is touching you, comment below where you're watching from and what time it is there, because trusting the law wasn't reckless. It wasn't blind faith. It was what I had been taught to do. I grew up believing the law existed to prevent harm, that if you followed the rules, you would be shielded, that justice might be slow, but it was dependable. I didn't think it was perfect, just fair enough. When my situation began to unravel, trusting the law felt logical, necessary. What else was I supposed to trust? I sought advice early. Professionals, experts, people who spoke confidently about procedure and protection. They told me the same thing. You're doing everything right. Those words became a mantra. I repeated them to myself during sleepless nights, during meetings that felt slightly off. During moments when my instincts whispered that something wasn't right, I ignored those instincts. Because instincts aren't admissible. The problem didn't start as a conflict. It started as a process, a requirement, a formal step that needed to be addressed. I welcomed it. Processes exist to clarify things, to stabilize uncertainty. I provided documents, answered questions, attended hearings. I spoke calmly, carefully. I believed tone mattered. Everyone involved seemed professional, measured, neutral. No one treated me like an adversary. That reassured me. It shouldn't have, because neutrality is not protection, it's distance. The law doesn't lean toward people. It leans toward structure. When concerns were raised, they were framed hypothetically. Potential issues, possible outcomes, nothing concrete, nothing actionable. I asked what I could do to prevent them. They said time would tell. Time, I learned, only reveals outcomes. It doesn't prevent them. I trusted the process. I trusted that fairness was built in, that if something was wrong, it would surface, that if I was being harmed, someone would notice. The first ruling was subtle, not catastrophic, just an adjustment, a recalibration. I accepted it because the law had reasons. The second ruling came more easily. The precedent had been set. That's how trust becomes leverage. Once you accept one compromise, the next feels inevitable. At some point, I realized decisions were being made without me, not secretly, just procedurally. I was informed afterward. I asked if this was normal. They said yes. I asked if it was temporary. They said likely. Likely is not reassuring when your life is being rearranged. I noticed how language shifted. From you are involved to you are affected. From your role to your position. The law speaks in nouns, not emotions. I kept trusting. Because what alternative did I have? Defiance would be recorded. Resistance interpreted. Silence documented. By the time I felt truly unsafe, the framework was already locked. Appeals were limited, options narrow, everything clean. My lawyer reviewed the situation carefully, then said something I will never forget. The law didn't fail you. It just didn't protect you. That sentence broke something in me. I had believed protection was implicit, that following rules created a safety net. I was wrong. The law protects processes, not people. I lost more than I expected. Not all at once. Piece by piece. Authority, access, identity. Each loss was justified, documented, approved. I was never accused, never punished. That's what made it confusing. I felt punished without wrongdoing. People around me said the system worked. They were right. It worked exactly as designed to reduce risk, not suffering. I stopped sleeping. My body reacted before my mind could explain. Every official letter felt like a threat. Every formal tone triggered panic. I began to doubt myself. Because when the law contradicts you, it feels final, authoritative, unquestionable. I wondered if I had misunderstood my role all along, if my expectations were unrealistic, if trusting the law had been arrogance. At some point, I realized something darker. The law never promised fairness. I had assumed it did. That assumption was my mistake. The final decision came quietly. No ceremony, no sense of climax. Just confirmation. I read it 3 times, looking for relief, for acknowledgement. There was none. The ruling was correct, cited precedent, clear reasoning, and devastating. People told me to move on, to rebuild, as if this were a setback, not a transformation. Trust doesn't return easily once it's been weaponized. I still believe the law is necessary. I still believe in order, but I no longer believe trust should be unconditional, because trust without power is vulnerability. I didn't lose because I was wrong. I lost because I assumed the system existed for me. It exists for itself. I trusted the law, and that was my mistake.